I'm at a point of my life where uncertainty runs rapid, where despite the amount of preparation I have put into this very moment, I cannot help but feel that the future I have prepared so hard for is not ready for me yet. It's unclear, as if I've been driving on a long road on a rainy day in which I can barely see through the window. It's been 2 months now. I graduated, but now what? Why can't I tell what's next? I arrived at the Global Youth Village, June 24th, 2015. I now have a bachelor's degree. Let me remind you, first in my family. 4 long years prepping to conquer the world. Now I'm working for a summer camp in the middle of nowhere with lots of bugs. Humidity that makes my bad hair days extend, and clothes that never seem to properly dry for some reason. And I can complain about having to climb Mount Everest just to get a meatless salad bar meal and a glass of water, only to go back up the hill again because my cabin and classrooms are on the other side of it. But I think that might be going too far if I mention any of that. Why am I here? That's what I asked myself the very second I stepped foot on this camp. It was a rough night for me as I had arrived at nearly 12 in the morning, right before the start of a thunderstorm. One of many. I could have sworn something was going to kill me, and no one would be around to hear me if I screamed. Ever heard that joke? If a tree fell down in the middle of the woods and no one was around to hear it, would it make a sound? Yeah, for that night, I was that tree. I was a long way from New York City, and the next 6 weeks were going to be difficult for me. I just knew it. It didn't become any better after a few days of training, finding out I'll be a cabin counselor for young people facing real-life situations I could never imagine experiencing. I thought I would be the special one. The special one whose personal story starts with being a Latino male growing up in the projects of New York City and fighting hard for his education. This wasn't special anymore. Special would become the boy who cried in the morning because of homesickness, but who ended his day pretending to be perfectly okay as his brothers faced sadness and suffering at night. Special was the girl who came to the United States 13 years after a tragic American event and facing discrimination against her and her hijab without even being prepared for that kind of treatment. Or the girl traveling around the world just to theatrically explain to us why sex trafficking and the abuse of women in India is wrong. At this point, I didn't know why I was here or what kind of special qualities I would have to offer. How could I compete with that? After the first few weeks, I began to get it. Challenge after challenge, conversation after conversation, I began to get it. So I graduated from college, and now God has put me in a camp filled with struggle, hardships, the desire to be somewhere else, and the determination behind wanting to be accepted by those we love. Was that not me all along? Growing up in the projects, facing the world as a minority male, a young person of color, filled with hardships, with a desire to be at a point of my life where I can succeed and prosper, and holding a belief that if I can just be myself, maybe they will think that who I am is enough for me. At some point, you begin to realize that it's not what you have to offer, but rather what others have to offer you. I came here feeling that I would not be enough to teach anyone much. But as I stand here today, I acknowledge all that I've been taught by all of you. I've been taught the meaning of industrial friendship, where powerful bonds have been built through assembly. I've been taught that even through our darkest hours, our friends not only accept us, but they pray for us until we get better. And I've been taught that even when we feel we may not have much to offer, we always will anyway. The word conservative was one I once loathed, as I am one who self-identifies as liberal, understanding, and accepting of differences other than mine. Today, I am able to look at conservative as just another difference, one I can respect and look at its face as I begin to mouth the words, I appreciate our differences. This summer has been one of many bumps for me on this long road on a rainy day. The rain may have made my view unclear, but each of you have been the windshield wipers making it easier for me to see. From my coworkers who have created an environment of understanding and acceptance with me, now becoming a new batch of friends, to these young individuals who have challenged me in ways I can never forget. I am grateful beyond belief, for this summer has been one of the most exciting summers of my life. I arrived without knowing why I came here, but I'm leaving with full content and recognition that the Global Youth Village is exactly where I need it to be. We sometimes can't understand why we have been led to destinations of uncertainty, but sometimes, as long as we relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride, we will always be exactly where we should be, with or without our permission. We may be asking ourselves, why are we here? Or why certain things happen to us? But given the things I have learned and seen these last couple of weeks, I am now certain in saying I'm okay with not knowing. Thank you.